If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
They are 1.8 billion globally. They will make 75% of workforce by 2025. They will outspace earnings of baby boomers in less than 10 years. Smartphones and tablets are the argument settlers and fact checkers for every conversation. Get more insights on African millennials on Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
That's cool on the beat.
Wow, I mean, I'm just happy I'm in the studio. I mean, Lagos can be a type of cruise sometimes. Guys, it's the African Millennial Radio Show on Africa Business Radio, and it's Tomi Wale. And I have a very, very wonderful person who, I think the first time I met him was via Facebook, and he created an art that talked about positive things about Nigeria using the Nigerian map. And I remember then I was sitting next to my employer and he's saying, we have to get this guy, And then one afternoon, around 2011, he showed up, with his bag, his laptop, and the genius walked through the door. And since then, it's been a very, very wonderful relationship, from work to eating out, to food we couldn't finish, to driving all the way down to Bayelsa and back, to him, of course, taking the trip out of the country to go, explore more about himself, and coming back to be our sensei, our teacher. Hey, why, how now?
I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, guys. Everybody in Ghana, Egypt, I'm sure some of your friends in South Africa will be listening to you right now.
Yes. I've posted it on social media.
I don't speak Afrikaans or Swahili or
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans or Osa. Yeah. I want to say what's up to them with that, right? Thank you very much for coming, though. I mean, it's the notice was short, but I shot my shot anyways, and it's happening right now. So far, our conversation really for the past about 6 weeks has been about people getting back on their feet. And in fact, I think there was some type of pressure that started with September 1st, yesterday. I don't know. Immediately I got into Lagos, it was just walk back to back this morning again. And I can feel it's going to be ongoing like that. So there's a tide right now. Now at the same time, people have been laid off work. People are back in work. People are rewriting their business model. People are, finding ways to make sure that their brand is visible right to their target audience and things like that. And you being, first of all, let me start, where do you start from, sir? Being a Nigerian, being a creative, being a brand consultant, being someone who is excellent in every of these things I've talked about. Of course, I am being a fine boy. Right, doing everything right. You are in this environment, and then you are running a company, right, that offers services, right. Let me just start. How has it been for you from, let me say, December 2019 up until now?
It's actually been interesting, to be honest. First off, like, doing business in Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted, to be honest. It's like there are policies and things out there to just take you down. But it's because of the industry that we're in, that we find ourselves, a lot of things are possible for us to do. And the most recent, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's been rough and tough, but at the same time, there's been a lot of progress. There's been a lot of growth, because what we've realized, or what has happened since March, right, is that a lot of people have seen the need to digitize their products, to digitize their services, and that's the area that we play in, right? So the past few months has been really interesting. A lot of growth has happened. As a matter of fact, growth has been happening even before the pandemic, but the pandemic just made everybody around the world realize, we've been talking to people all over the world. This person seen our products, or they've seen our services, or they've read something about us, and they're reaching out. And what that also means is that we're also no longer the Nigerian company. Do you understand?
Right.
And that's something that we've been positioning for way before the pandemic, right? So it's been tough, but also very, very interesting.
So I have a friend who one day I said, she had just got back into the country. I think she was in the country for the first time at the time. And then I asked her something about global standards. So she now looked at me like, so I not thought about it. Actually, I can't say global centimeters.
Yeah.
Centimeters. Yeah. I can't say global cup. Cup is cup. Yeah. So global standard, sounds funny.
Sounds weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from with us here. So you said something about your services, right? I'll be offering services to people outside the country. Yeah. And thank God for the pandemic, which increased the visibility of that. People now exploring what's happening in the world. How have you, or what are the things you've put in place to ensure that the standard of your company is something that brands, organizations, and businesses all around the world will want to associate with?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because as a business owner, because there's a lot of requests coming in, right? There's a need for you to expand your team size. And when you try to expand your team size, what usually happens in that instance is sometimes you pick people who wouldn't have the same mindset as you, right? Wouldn't have that quality embedded in them, right? People were just okay pushing out average work, right? And that's not what we're known for. It's pretty much like you go to a Ferrari store, right? You're not expecting a car that is running like, jalopy. You understand? You're expecting something that can go fast real quick, right? And if they give you anything less than that, you would literally not buy. So what we're known for is quality delivery, and we've created systems in place. We've created we have things like, for example, daily calls, right? Pandemic, again, with or without the pandemic, we check up on each other to say, what are you doing? How far has it gone? And check. So also, it's like building a ship, right? You don't wait until the ship is ready before you review it, right? You review it in small bits. So you built this part. Let's see, is this part okay? Like, it's the same in architecture, right? You're doing the foundation. We need to check that foundation before we actually go to the next stage, right? So basically, what we do is that we've turned things into atoms and molecules, basically, right? And it means that you're creating a big ship, right? But you're creating them in bits. You're creating things in bits, and then you put everything together to form the big ship. It's like your Lego. But you want to make sure that each component is great enough. By the time you put everything together, like, you already have standards. So but a lot of time, businesses, and this principle can be applied to any business. A lot of time, what happens with businesses is that they wait till the complete work is done before then they review if it's quality work or not. It's like you're producing a movie, but you're waiting for the entire movie to be done before you actually check if the movie is good. You're supposed to check scene by scene by scene, check the sound, check the visuals, check the effects, check, the lightning, every single thing, right? And that's how you keep the consistencies. Check every single thing, right? And if you have high for detail, high for you pay attention, and you pay attention to the smallest detail. And what you also want on your team, right, is to pass on that culture to your team members. Like, it's this or nothing. Do you understand? Like, if this person can do it and they're here, you can also do it, right? I don't see, and as a matter of fact, this whole ideology of like black excellence, like it doesn't sit well with me, because if you're saying black excellence, right, it's like if a white person does something, they wouldn't say white excellence, right? Like, shouldn't you just expect excellence? Yeah, I shouldn't just expect excellence from black people. Why? When a black person does something, they say black excellence, hashtag black. I think it's just wrong. That whole ideology, it needs to change, right? Good things can come from Nigeria. Great things, as a matter of fact, can come from Nigeria, right? It's not limited to a geographical location or something, right? It has to do with the individual, right? And if you're running a company and you set your mind that this is where I want to go, and this is the quality I want. If you employ someone new to the team, you add someone new to the team, and they're not giving you that quality, shake hands, bye-bye. There's always someone else that can fit, and you don't necessarily need a big team. You can keep your team size really small. It's not everybody that can work at Google. It's not everybody that can work at Facebook, right? And the reason why they can't work there is if you don't have the mindset to create a product that a billion users would use every single day, right? Like, it's okay if you want to create something that's small. It's totally fine. Like, we all don't have to, dream big, Yeah. So, like, creating the system, making sure that excellence is followed through. You need to check things really early on, right? You iterate and you go back and you that's really, really good. I mean, what I could hear many things about placing emphasis on structure, and building structure means you're laying one pole, one brick at a time, checking if it's good, and also paying attention to details as it goes on. Yeah. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. No, I didn't hope you. I know you are enjoying this. Let's have a short break and then we'll be back for more with Ayo Onasanya. Thank you.
You're listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Alright, so my producer has said, you know what, so I'm going to give you 5 more minutes, and I'm very, very grateful for that. His name is Mickey Jagger. In case you see him on the road, just say Mickey Jagger, the producer of the African Millionaire Radio Show. Please,
such a cool guy.
Such a cool guy, such a generous guy. Please give me a bottle of wine if you see him. So, AY.
Yeah.
Businesses won't mind, of course, getting their services across the shores, right? You've talked about paying attention to details, right? And then when the whole is done, it's actually very excellent whole that can be presented anywhere in the world. Now, when it comes to now exchanging value, say pricing, things like that. Some people feel like, you're in Nigeria now, just, take Nigerian money. No. What do you have to say about it? Is it the Jobberman in you that is speaking now?
Because it's a no. If something is worth, it's the same as iPhones. They send it down here at the same rate, right? MacBooks, they send it down here at the same rate. Why are you exporting your own product and you're reducing the price? That doesn't make sense, right? You're exporting your services. You need to export it at the global rate, right? Whatever you're going to sell it in US is the same price you sell in Nigeria, right? I have a number of friends who work remotely, 100% remotely. They're working in companies that they've never seen physically the people that employ them, right? They're working in Nigeria with like a US company, and they're paying them the exact rates someone in the US is collecting. Now imagine that. It's mind blowing. You're earning dollars, you're spending naira. Like, we know the rates, right? We know what the math is, right? Like, someone's earning maybe we don't know, right? Maybe $10,000 or $5,000 or $2,000. Convert that to naira, you know? Like, that's how it should be. So we charge, you know, like, businesses should start charging, right? Like, global, whatever you're going to charge your clients in the US, right? It's the same thing you should charge a guy in Nigeria. If they cannot pay, right? And there are cases where maybe you have to, you know, maybe come down a bit, especially with the realities on ground, like businesses are shutting down and all of that. Yeah, there are cases like that, but you shouldn't let that be like, you know, like your bounding block from charging what you deserve, because I think pricing is one key element that a lot of business, if you don't get it right, you're just busy. You're just doing so much, but there's no money, right? Like, there's a lot of activities, right? But like, you check your bank account and there's wow. You're just, you know, running a rat race. It's just going on around the circle. So until businesses start charging like the right amount. And the interesting thing, right, with pricing as well is, if someone doesn't pay, you will always find another person that will pay.
Yeah, of course. They're
that
not just
rate.
a target audience. Yeah.
I remember a while ago, this was maybe like, I don't know, 7 years ago. I don't know. I think you will probably remember this conversation. I said to myself, I was not going to do any project that, whatever it's as small as it is, if it wasn't 50,000 naira, whether you just want me to draw
a line
for you, right? The least I would charge you is 50,000 naira. Like, if you want me to type A, it's like you can't do it, but you want me to do it. You want me to type letter A and press Ctrl P and give it to you, right? That's
your work anyways.
That's 50K, right? And until businesses start doing that, right? Like, you have your minimum, you decide it, right? Especially when it comes down to pricing, your clients would ask you, so how much is this thing worth? Do you understand? Like, they won't tell you, no, this is what, and they would only price based on what you've told them.
Absolutely. So
if I say this is 100 naira, they say, bros, give 70. It to me at 50 now. I'll give it to at 70. Okay, last price. But if I start at 1K, right, you cannot come down to 100 naira. Do you understand? Right? If you come down to 100 naira, be like, bros, how far? Do you understand? So I think it's time we start approaching things from that perspective. You know, same thing. Apple is collecting they don't care, right? They don't care whether there's money in Nigeria or not. They're releasing the new iPhones and they're doing all of that. So yeah, we need to start charging.
I mean, so guys, so start charging right. I understand that you're Nigerian, you need that thing right now, but then charge according to what you are worth. And then, of course, work well on your excellence. The amount of work you put into excellence, shouldn't be wasted over some messed up valuation that someone might bring to you. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you for joining the African Millennial Radio Show with Tomiwale and my very wonderful friend, Ayo Onasanya. Follow him,
Ayo Onasanya.
Ayo Onas.
Yeah.
Right, on Instagram and on Twitter also. And then check out Acumen, Acumen. ng.com.
No, Acumen.digital actually.
Acumen.digital, right. Check them out and then see a lot about them. Bombard IMD with a lot of questions via DM. All right, guys, we'll be back on Friday for very, very interesting conversations that has to do with entertainment. For now, have a wonderful evening. Please stay safe. Bye.